Hey, check out this clip from the Pre-Patch podcast.
Moving on from shitty company to another shitty company. Microsoft is not ready
Oof.
to deprioritize Xbox consoles, which I don't know. Is that a surprise to anybody? I don't. That's
It's
not a
too many
surprise to
people
me
on Game
personally.
Pass. It's too many people on Game Pass. They can't
Yeah,
do that.
Well,
They
I
that,
don't
can't.
think.
that's exactly the reason. Because what was the statistic? Is it 80?
I think it's
Uh,
85%,
85 somewhere,
Yeah,
maybe
an
86.
overwhelming majority of their Game Pass subscriptions are through
on
consoles.
Xbox.
So
It's
they,
not
they
on the
haven't
PC Game Pass.
no, they haven't broke into the PC marketplace like I think a lot of people thought they had. Um,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by that. I
Nobody's
thought it
gonna
was a
come
lot
along.
Oh,
lot
that is
more
not
on
what I wanted
PC.
to do.
Nobody's gonna come along and replace Steam, bro. It's just not happening.
Yeah,
As a
I
launcher, you
I don't know,
can't
man.
beat
I don't know, dude.
If anybody could do it, like the game catalog that Microsoft has on Game Pass should be able to at least compete. Like,
Should,
Yeah,
but
I
your
understand
launcher is not
now.
clean enough to compete with Steam. It
The
just
launcher's
they
not
launcher
clean
sucks.
enough, and
But
I think they're trying to push that launcher into other things. Like, I know
yeah,
that they're talking Switch 2. I
Okay.
wouldn't be surprised if at some
that's what we were going
point
to talk
we
about
get
actually. Yeah.
we get Game Pass on Switch 2. We get Game Pass on PlayStation if Sony decides to play ball, or if Valve allows for Steam Pass like
on the Steam
merging
Deck.
with or Game Pass merging with Steam. Like you can
Well,
already get Game Pass on the Steam Deck.
yeah, that's what I was about to
That's
say. You can already get it on the Game Pass. On top of that, Xbox has already like ported a lot of their games over to Steam in general. So it's one of those things where it's like you don't need there's not a huge barrier of entry when it comes to like them kind of contending, but at the same time, Xbox doesn't. I don't think that Xbox like I don't. It's not a. I don't think. I know because Phil Spencer has already stated they don't care. They just want their fucking games everywhere. They're completely over it. I don't think that they really give a shit about the console market anymore. They're going to make a console because why wouldn't they? Right? Like that's just easy money for them. Granted, we've already talked about the fact that consoles don't make money necessarily, right? But there's
no.
that's a guarantee to basically make a fan out of somebody that buys your console at that point. So they've already invested time, they've already invested money into your console. They're in it to win it, basically. They're in it for the long run at that point, right? So if they buy your console, that's a guaranteed money revenue set,
I
a
kind of,
revenue
I kind
system
of see
right there,
where you're
right?
coming from, but I don't see Sony ever allowing Game Pass on their platform. I know they've been in
I don't know,
talks,
dude.
but I
With the fact
really
that
highly doubt it, bro. Like that's
with
weird
it
if
with
they
the
do
fact
that.
that where was that? Did I remove that? I don't think I did.
And the only reason I say that is since Sony
Oh,
and
right here.
Microsoft's inception, they've always been at each other's throats, bro, when it comes
So
to anything.
they have, but this right here is Starfield coming out on PS5. Phil Spencer won't rule it out. Xbox is moving to a point where they don't give a shit where you're playing their games at.
Well,
They
that's
just
fair. They
all they
do
care
that.
is that you're
Yeah.
playing their games. If you're playing their games on a PlayStation, more power to you, right? If you're playing their games on a fucking fridge, why the fuck not, right? Like
I
it's
think they're
they
they're really
that is
trying
how
to push
Xbox.
into publisher territory, like
yeah.
primarily publisher.
And we talked
Okay.
about that
is
in the
how
past
Xbox
in
has been
extensive.
thinking for the past couple of years,
Yeah.
but it's really just relying on Sony's side now. Like they're pretty adamant still. But
This
who
one right
else?
here is the
This-
one that really threw me for a loop with Phil Spencer confirming that Xbox will support Switch 2.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, man. Like I get
They started supporting Switch.
yeah,
1 with,
that's
like,
what I was
Doom
about to say.
on
I get that
Switch
they
and
moved
Mhm.
Switch. They moved a couple of games to Switch previously in I think the end of last year or the end of the year before that. I can't remember which. But like I didn't think like from what he was saying, let's see if I can find it. Nintendo, their innovations and what they mean in this industry, I just always applaud the moves that they make. They did a little flash video, and I know we'll get more detail over time. I'm really looking forward to supporting them with the games that we have, and I just think they're a really important part of the industry, which is
I
crazy
think
to me.
I think he's just trying to get away from this. I think there's something else going on that they're not worried about their gaming platform anymore. Maybe it could be AI shit. I don't know, but whatever it is, like for them to start being like, okay, well, let's put our launcher on Switch. Let's put our launcher on PlayStation. It's one of those power moves because at some point, if they're not in a console war anymore. Now they can focus on other things.
Well,
So, who knows?
that's he says it right here. It's hard with what's publicly out there right now for everyone to get their heads around. But who would ever bet against the success of that team? They're masterful at what they do. Switch is a massive success, and I think Switch 2 will be as well. That to me just states that again, we've been talking about it. Xbox is so done with the consoles, right? The
Yeah, it
console
has to
war,
be, yeah.
they don't give a fuck anymore. They're just like, if you want to play our games on your mobile device, have at it. If you want to play our games on a PlayStation 5, go for it, right? If you want to play our games on a Switch, we got you, right? They just like Bill said, I think they're really going down the route of publisher, and I think it's going to hurt them in the way of like, obviously we've talked about in the past where their market sales versus PlayStation 5 have never been like top dollar, right? The PlayStation 5 always outsells them on their market sales. That point, I think, is what they're trying to move towards, is like, okay, yeah, PlayStation, you guys have won. Like, good for you. Have at it. Enjoy. Congratulations. Play our games. Here's our games. Yeah. If we completely succeed, you're good. You guys are the best. Have our games. We'll make money off of you.
The past like years, Xbox really hasn't even been competing. It's mostly
exactly
Sony competing.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah, they haven't. The last really time that they competed was when the Xbox One dropped. I don't even think this past console.
I don't even think they won on that, dude. Yeah,
they didn't win, but I'm saying competing. That's the only time that
Yeah.
they tried to compete, because I think that's when not the 360. When the 360 dropped, their title was Halo.
They lost one.
And Gears of War, and then after that, it's kind of been like crickets for the most part.
I just hope that this new like move with them puts them back into actually like putting more quality into the products they're releasing.
I do
We
too.
can get some of like the old Xbox franchises back in the like quality that they used to be. I don't want to see another shitty Halo game.
It's another shitty Halo. That's what I was going to bring up, is another shitty Halo. I'm hoping that if they finally have Halo on the PlayStation, it's going to make them more accountable for what they release. For sure. 100%.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that.
And
Yeah.
even the games that they just launched, like Indiana Jones, from what I understand,
I've heard it's good.
I've
heard it's really good.
Let me talk about that, because go ahead, Bill. So I'm gonna let you finish, because
I don't have any hands-on time with it, but it's good, but it's not pushing the Xbox brand in
it's a Bethesda game. Let's be real.
It's a net neutral.
Fair enough.
And it's another meh from the Bethesda acquisition.
Yeah.
So
like
I played.
In my opinion, it's probably on par with Starfield. I know a lot of people like Starfield, and I know a lot of people
I would actually say it's a little bit better than
I would
Starfield.
say it's better than Starfield, in my opinion.
Okay.
My only issue with this game,
more than Starfield,
my only issue with this game is, and it could be on my end, but I had someone else play it as well. Like, when you try to play it from the PC Xbox store on Xbox Game Pass, it crashes a lot. That was just my only issue with the game. Other than that, for what I experienced, that it was crashing.
With the game Xbox PC Game
Xbox,
Pass in general.
Xbox PC Game Pass sucks so much.
Not just that, but it's also a Bethesda game. So it's one of those things. Like, I'm not making an excuse. That is not an excuse.
Together,
but both of those together,
you're done.
Yeah, that's but the amount of game that I did get to play, which was only the epilogue or the exposition, whatever you want to call it. But at the very beginning of the game, it was actually I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it. I was actually like, yo, I want to actually finish it. And every time I relaunched it, I get like 3 minutes, 4 minutes into the game, crash. 3 minutes, 4 minutes into the game, crash. I was like, you know what? Fuck this game. I'm done. Fuck, you're free. I'm out of here. Like, I was just getting upset. I was like, you know what? Free isn't worth it. I'm out of here.
Thank you for checking out the patch notes. If you enjoyed this small selection from our podcast, come and join us every other Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the full, unfiltered pre-patch podcast. And make sure you check out all of our past shows on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast.